This is Mohammed, your PMP instructor from Certify with Ease. And in this video, we're going to use ChatGPT as a study buddy to get us to give us some exam questions or, practice exam questions so we can prepare as much as possible for the PMP exam. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. It's brand new and I just want to offer as much value as possible. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to go on ChatGPT, you want to give it a prompt. I give it a simple prompt. I said, give me some PMP situation-based questions. The reason why we're focusing on situation-based is because 80% of the exam is situation-based. That I can solve. The format of the exam is that the question will give a scenario and then ask, what should the project manager do, have done, or do first? These are the three scenarios that you'll see most often, okay? So let me solve these questions now with you. I don't know how many questions I have to solve. Okay, 6 questions, not bad. Let's go through this together. Question number 1. Your project team is in the execution phase of a software development project. During a routine status meeting, a team member reports a critical bug that could delay the project by 2 weeks. The client is unaware of this issue. What should the project manager do first? Okay. What is the problem statement? Now remember, I always say this. A lot of the times the problem statement is at the end of the question. Okay, it's at the end of the question. So I don't really care that we're working on a software development project, but I do care that we're in the execution phase and that there is a critical bug that could delay the project by 2 weeks. That is our problem statement. We know that there's this problem that can delay our project by 2 weeks. What should we do? What should the project manager do first? Inform the client immediately about the delay. Okay, so we don't want to do this first. Okay, and this is one of our principles where as a PM, the PM should handle decisions by him or herself. Okay, there's no running to sponsors or HR or even the client immediately. All right, so let's go back. We're going to take this out. A is not the answer for now. B, analyze the impact of the bug on the project schedule. Okay, that's a very good answer, and I'll explain why at the end. Let's leave it for now. Assign a team to start working on fixing the bug. Okay, that makes sense as well. Let's leave it. Update the project risk register with the new issue. Okay, that can make sense as well. Okay, so we have B, C, and D that are left. Which one do we actually choose? Now, let me give you this quick hack. Anytime the question mentions what should the project manager do first or next, you want to go back to one of our principles over here. Principle number 1. Always discuss, investigate, analyze, and ask before deciding on a solution. Okay, so if we take that into consideration, we can then eliminate C. We do not want our team to immediately start working on the bug. We want to analyze or take a step back before doing that. B is going to be the answer. The reason being is because once you analyze the impact of the bug on the project schedule, then you can properly update the risk register, right? If you don't have information, how are you going to update the risk register? So the answer to this question is going to be B. And like always, I'm doing this on the fly, all right? Let's verify. What's the answer? Answer to question 1. All right, come on. Let me see if I did this correctly. Analyze the impact of the bug on the project schedule like we mentioned before, okay? So that's one of the answers. We got it. We're doing well so far. Let's continue. All right, question number 2. Let's move myself over here. You know what? Let me split the screen so it's a little bit easier here. So we can look at our principle. These principles are so important because they save you so much time when answering the questions, okay? Let's move on to question number 2. You are managing a construction project and your key supplier just informed you that a crucial delivery will be delayed by 1 month due to a supply chain disruption. This delay will affect the project's critical path. Okay, very important. Now, I don't care that we're working on a construction project. It can be a construction project. It can be a healthcare-related project. That is not our main point of focus. Our main point of focus is that we know that this delivery can delay our project, and this delay is on the critical path, what should we do as a project manager? What should we do first? A, revise the project schedule to accommodate the new delivery date. Okay, so remember, what should the project manager do first? We take a step back, always discuss, investigate, analyze, ask before deciding on a solution. So taking a step back and revising the project schedule to accommodate the new delivery date can work. Okay, again, we don't want to settle for a delay, but we're simply revising the project schedule. Let's move on. Let's not eliminate this right away. Inform the project stakeholders about the delay. Okay, great. But how does that solve our problem? We're informing the stakeholders about the delay. We want to solve this problem completely. Let's leave it for now. C, conduct a risk analysis to assess the impact of the delay. Okay, now this is a little bit more solid. A, revise the project schedule to accommodate the new delivery date means what? Means that we have settled for the delay. And principle number 2 is never settle for delays. If we are accommodating for the new delivery date, we're settling for the delay. And number 2 says we shouldn't settle for the delay. Okay, a delay for a project is very, very bad. Why? Because the more delayed a project is, the more you have to pay your employees, your contractors, equipment fees, whatever it may be. Okay, there's a lot of costs when it comes to delays. So C is a good answer. Look for alternative suppliers to meet the project's needs. So again, we want to first take a step back. Principle number 1, get all the data, get all the information, and then decide on an actual solution. So I would say the best solution is going to be C, conduct a risk analysis. Okay, so again, let's see, moment of truth. What's the answer to 2? Question 2. All right, so let's see. Come on. I don't need the explanation unless I'm wrong. Conduct a risk analysis to assess the impact of the delay. Okay, perfect. So we got this. All right, we're 100% right now. Let's move on to question number 3. During the planning phase of a marketing campaign project, one of your stakeholders requests a major change to the project scope. This change will require additional resources and time, but the project budget is fixed. Okay. What should the project manager have done to manage such risks? Now we're talking about the past. What should the project manager have done? Okay. So let's look at this problem. What is the problem statement? I was reading this problem and I wasn't really focused, so it kind of slipped my mind. Let's read it again. One of your stakeholders requests a major change to the project scope. The change will require additional resources and time, budget. Okay, project budget. Okay, so we have this change that the stakeholder wants to implement. However, it's going to change our project scope. Now, why is this a problem? Anytime a change affects the project scope, it needs to go through a change request process. It has to. Why? Because the change request process, the perform integrated change control process, will assess this change properly. Okay? Now, this change will obviously affect the resources and time, but the project budget is fixed. So what should the project manager have done to manage such requests? Include a change control process in the project management plan. That's what we just mentioned. Okay? This is a good solution. This is probably the answer. Allocate contingency reserves in the budget. Now, contingency reserves are for risks, are for when the risks materialize. We do not use this for change requests. Okay? C, conduct, so we can eliminate B. Conduct a stakeholder analysis to identify potential changes early. So a stakeholder analysis is not the correct tool. We're not talking about a stakeholder. We're talking about the change that the stakeholder requested. D, develop a risk management plan to address scope changes. So a risk management plan is not the appropriate plan to use for a scope change. Okay. The answer, I'm sure, is going to be A. Okay. And for question 3. All right, let's go back to this. Question 3, let's see what the answer is. Moment of truth. Yeah, here we go. A. Okay, so we're at 100% right now. We're doing well. We're 50%. Let's see if we can pass this mini exam. All right, number 4. Your project is nearing completion, and a key stakeholder expresses dissatisfaction with the deliverables, claiming they do not meet the agreed upon requirements. You review the project documentation and confirm that the deliverables match the documented requirements. What should the project manager do? All right. Okay. So you have this dissatisfied stakeholder, and they basically claim that the agreed upon requirements, the deliverables do not meet the agreed upon requirements. Okay. So what should we do as a project manager? A, escalate the issue to senior management. So we don't do that. Again, principle where was it? Number 8, we don't run to anyone. The PM doesn't run to anyone. Okay. Now, the reason why I have these principles is because you could eliminate answers right off the bat. It saves you so much time. Okay. So you can always take a screenshot of these principles. B, set up a meeting with the stakeholders to discuss their concerns. Very good. Okay. Project manager, number 1, takes a step back before deciding on anything, before making a decision, before making a hasty move. The project manager takes a step back and gathers all the information required. Request the stakeholder to review the project documentation. Okay, that could be a situation as well. That could be a good answer as well. But I would say setting up a meeting with the stakeholder to discuss their concerns first is the best thing to do for now. Initiate a change request to adjust the deliverable. So again, this is deciding on an actual solution before collecting all the information. So I'm going to go with B. B is the best answer. And for question, okay, what I think it gets the point. Actually, question 4 answer. Let's just see what they say before moving on. All right, so the answer is going to be set up a meeting with the stakeholder, discuss their concerns. Exactly. Okay. PMP exam, guys. If you have principles, if you have the right mindset, it's a piece of cake. Question number 5. You are leading a project to implement a new IT system. Midway through the project, your team identifies a better technology that could significantly improve the system's performance. However, adopting this new technology would require revising the project plan and potentially extending the project timeline. What should the PM do? All right, so your team finds out there's this new technology that can improve the system's performance. However, this new technology can extend the project timeline. What should the PM do? Reject the idea to avoid delaying the project. Now, let's go all the way down to our principles, number 18, I believe. Never immediately reject a request or an opportunity. We don't want to do that. Let's eliminate that answer right off the bat. B, evaluate the feasibility and impact of adopting the new technology. Sounds like a beautiful answer, right? Taking a step back, collecting information before deciding on what to do. That's number B. That's letter B. Present the idea to the project sponsor for approval. Okay? Now that sounds good. That sounds like a nice thing to do. However, the project manager should not run to the sponsors right away. Okay? The sponsor is not responsible for this. Sponsor is responsible for securing funding. So we can eliminate C. Implement the new technology immediately to gain its benefits. No, we should not jump to the solution in a hasty fashion. Instead, we should respect principle number 1. So B is going to be the answer. Okay, so let's check question 5. Answer. Okay, so B is going to be the answer. Let's look at this. This is amazing. The Chat GPT can basically teach you what you need to know. Evaluate feasibility impact of adopting new technology. Okay, very good. Okay, just make sure though that you go through as many problems as possible. We have one more left. Okay, go through as many problems as possible to get a strong sense of the PMP mindset and how you should answer and how you should approach a situation. Question 6, a project you are managing has encountered a significant issue due to a regulatory change. This change was not anticipated in the risk management plan and will require additional compliance efforts. What should the project manager do first? Okay, keyword first. First. Keep this as a keyword, highlight it, keep it in the back of your mind. Okay, so what's going on in this situation? There is this regulatory change. Now, regulatory change can be an industry standard change. The government can come along and say, hey, we're changing this to that. It could be a new law, all these kind of things. Okay, so we haven't anticipated this change, which makes sense. So what should the project manager do first? Inform the sponsor about the regulatory change. No, we don't go to the sponsor for this. Eliminate. Update the risk management plan to include the new regulation. Okay, not a bad solution. Let's see what else is available. C, convene a meeting with the team to discuss the necessary compliance efforts. Okay, very good. So have a meeting with the team and discuss. Principle number 1, take a step back. Discuss the necessary compliance efforts before deciding on everything. So you're gathering enough information about this compliance with this regulatory change. Revise the project schedule and budget to account for the additional work. Okay, so this is deciding on a solution before actually collecting information, because you're not just revising the project schedule and budget, you are accounting for the additional work, which means that you have accepted You have accepted this change and you're already dealing with it without conducting C first. Okay, you need to gather all the information first. Remember, when you see the word first, look for the answer that respects principle number one. So let us answer question 6. Let us see what the answer is. Let's see if we can get 100%. Convene, yes. Okay, there we go. We got it, 100%. Okay, so if this was the PMP exam, if the PMP exam was 6 questions and 6 questions only, we would pass the PMP exam and get certified above target in all categories. Okay, so use ChatGPT to your advantage. I'm telling you this right now. Forget about Study Hall. Study Hall is not a good resource. A lot of the questions on Study Hall are outdated. A lot of the answers are weird. They're weird. They don't fit the PMP style. And I really believe the reason being is because a lot of the PMI members are volunteers. PMI uses a lot of volunteers. They don't actually have that many employees. So because they use a lot of volunteers, volunteering work at the end of the day is not that, could be great, could be in the middle, could be very bad. Okay? So again, at the end of the day, use all the resources at your disposal. We have free sessions every week, every Sunday. If you're interested, I'm going to include the Telegram link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give it a like, and let's grow this channel together. This is Mohammed. Have an amazing day. Take care.